look at myself before I go on live internet.
Should.
Should probably take a look at myself. Yeah, I'm wearing shorts and a jacket. That's not good.
It's really warm out, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's hot, but I gotta wear the jacket because it's part of the gimmick, right? So should I tweet out a link to this thing? How does this work, John? How do we normally? Feels like it's been a while since we've done this. Maybe I'm off because it's a Thursday right now on the pre-show. It's weird. It's like I'm not used to doing it on a Thursday. It's not Friday right now, you know?
But you are awake, though, which is really impressive.
I'm usually awake. What do you mean? Why wouldn't I be awake?
Sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're just kind of coasting throughout the show. A little bit like right now, actually. Hey, sometimes you phone it in, man. Like, I'm just saying.
How dare you? I never phone it in. I think you phone it in. You come here, you got nothing prepared. I have notes, my friend.
All right, yeah, well, this is really all about you, right? Because when did you finish watching 13 Reasons Why? I left you, like, it was, what, 6, 7 episodes?
I finished watching the first season.
Okay, and?
I had enough.
You had enough.
I watched a couple episodes in the second season, and that was enough for me. I've stopped watching it. I've decided it's taken up too much time. These episodes are an hour each, and I don't like it. So why am I watching this anymore? I'm done, John. I don't want to watch 13 Reasons Why. I watched it a bit. I watched the first season for you, because I know you love the show so much. I dedicated 13 hours of my time. And now I'm done. More than that, because I watched some of the second season. But, like, I've had enough of the show. I don't like it. It's not for me.
So what did you think, though, at the end? Like, I think it left you at the dance, if I'm not mistaken, last. And then you watched the last few episodes.
Yeah, the first season. What did I think at the end of the first season?
Yeah.
I thought, okay, that's it. The guy, he didn't stay with her when she was all sad, and then she witnessed a rape, and then she was also raped. I mean, there was a lot of rape going on.
The rape she saw the rape before he got with her or whatever, or was going to get with her.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They were like kind of kissing and doing things, and then she was like, no, stop, because she had all these bad feelings about men from her past, from all the terrible things that had happened to her. And then he's like, what was going on? And she's like, well, just get out of here. And he was like, oh, okay.
Right.
And then after she dies, he's like, man, I should have stayed. And it's like, man, she's yelling at you to leave. If you stay in that moment, it's not good for you. You gotta leave at that point.
Right.
And then the girl, somehow, she's like sitting there in this weird state, and then she witnesses her friend get raped by this guy who's like a serial rapist loose in the high school. So that's like another thing going on. This like rich guy rapist. He rapes her as well.
Yeah.
After she witnesses him raping her friend, right?
Yep.
Like, why would she even be around that guy? Why wouldn't she say, hey, I saw you... Like, I don't know. It was weird. There was just a lot of rape going on, which I didn't enjoy. I wasn't entertained by that. I was like, yeah, this is just... It's a little much, you know? I didn't enjoy it. And then when she slit her wrists to kill herself, I skipped over that. I don't want to see that. Gross. I don't want to see anybody slitting their wrists with all the blood and stuff. I fast-forwarded right through that part. I couldn't watch it.
Why? I think it was to explain to you why she did that. Throughout all the things that happened. And
well, yeah, of course, a lot of terrible things happened to this girl. Like, every terrible thing that could possibly happen to you in high school happened to her. For a girl. It sucks, but, like... It's, like, a bit much. Like, I don't think... It's unrealistic, you know? Because maybe one of those things is going to happen to you. Maybe two of those things is going to happen to you. But for all of those things to happen to her, it was too much. It was like, really? Really? This is all happening to one person? And no one's concerned about her? No one, like, worries about her? Really? It was just dumb. And I never felt she was a very sympathetic character. I just didn't like it, okay? I didn't like it.
She went through all that and you didn't feel bad for her whatsoever? Like...
No, because I didn't think that the actress portraying her was very good. I was like, whatever.
All right, well, you can understand why some people thought that was like, wow, that was something. That was
sure
heartbreaking, gut-wrenching at many times to witness stuff like that. And, you know, we can say like, oh, that's never going to happen to us, but the fact is, it has happened to people.
Yeah. Well, we're getting a comment here from Antoinette. She says, I know I should not be saying this, but I like 13 Reasons Why. Which, I understand why she,
No, I don't
she
get
says
it.
it was a lot to take in, but it's real life and people like Bryce exist in this world. Bryce was the serial rapist, rich guy, evil man. Like, so evil. Like, anyways.
You know what line he says about
and
girls?
she says, so many people commit suicide and no one ever knows. Well, I think people know when people commit suicide, but maybe people don't know exactly why. I mean, I get it. It's a tough issue to deal with, and I'm not saying people don't get raped and people don't kill themselves, and of course that stuff happens. But
in high school too.
Yeah, but this show wasn't good. Like, it was grief porn.
Grief porn.
Yeah, you never heard that term before?
No, I never heard that.
Well, that's what it was. That's what this show is. It's like to make you like, oh my god, more bad things gonna happen to her. It wasn't fun to watch.
I was always interested to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah, and then when I got to the end of the first season and I saw what happened at the end, I was like, okay, I have invested way too much time in this, and I've been seriously lacking on watching the best of the Super Juniors, which I'm now completely confused about. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That tournament is super confusing because it's on a point system, so guys get points, and I don't know who's in the lead in points. Like, they all wrestle each other, and then there's points, and I don't know how it works.
Oh, you really got to keep up to date with that. That's going to be rough.
Well, it's confusing, too, because a lot of the matches are only in Japanese, so I'm sure they're explaining to you what's going on, but right. I don't understand it because I don't speak Japanese. So I'm enjoying the wrestling. Like, there's a lot of good matches. Marty Scurll is doing great. Hiromu. There's been some fun stuff. But I haven't seen all of it. And I know that there's the finals coming up soon in June. And I'll try and catch up by then. I'll try and be all caught up by the finals. But the point system is really confusing. A tournament where it's like a knockout thing is a lot more easy to follow. But the knockout, the point system for New Japan, I'm getting confused about the best of the Super Juniors. I'm enjoying it. It's a fun tournament that they're doing, but I don't really know who's in the lead.
I wasn't a fan. I remember when TNA did their Bound for Glory series, and everyone had like points leading up to that to see who would get the title shot. I wasn't a fan of that either when they did that.
It's good action, but it's a bit confusing. And I think for a lot of New Japan fans, this is kind of like the in-between stuff while waiting for Dominion, which is the big card coming up June 9th. Chris Jericho, Tetsuya Naito, Rey Mysterio will be on the card. Kazuchika Okada wrestling Kenny Omega for the IWGP Heavyweight title. I mean, there's some good stuff on Dominion. That's the next big show for New Japan. I'm way more hyped for that than Money in the Bank.
I understand.
I expect a Miz victory at Money in the Bank. So do you want to keep talking about this 13 show? I mean,
well, you got another comment, I think.
Yeah, Antoinette says, is teaching you that these things exist in real life. She works with many kids so she can relate. She says, happy Thursday, she brought coffee.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't drink coffee. But...
You don't drink coffee. And Robert Clues says, Jesus, someone buy that man some sleeves.
Me? Why?
Yeah, you need sleeves because you never wear sleeves. You're always in cut-off things.
No, that's incorrect, actually. Last week I had a t-shirt.
Well, maybe it was cold.
It was cold, actually, last week.
So, do you want to review the second season? I know you were waiting till this week to review it.
Well, just what did you see, exactly?
I don't know, like the first 2 or 3 episodes?
Okay. What happened?
I don't know, man.
I know you were very upset with Tony. Like, you're going to want to know about his story, but I'm not going to tell you what happened.
I wasn't upset. I just thought he was a terrible character. It was so ridiculous. It was so bad, man. It was laughably bad. And for you to take it so seriously is odd.
Well, I can relate to some of the issues that they go through. Like, I'm sorry if no one in your high school, like, committed suicide, but it happened with me.
Really?
Yeah.
More than one person?
I can only think of one person.
Did you know them?
I knew them. I wasn't really friends with them, but I still felt bad that they killed themselves.
Well, yeah.
It's rough. It's terrible. And they had a kid, by the way. You see, life is really like
in high school.
In high school.
This is a man or a woman?
Man, yeah.
A man who had fathered a child.
Yeah.
How old was he?
16.
And he had a kid, and he killed himself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
It is rough.
Odd, yeah.
High school can be really rough and terrible.
Yeah, sure.
I think you forget. Like, I guess you just coasted through high school or something. Or
I mean, wasn't great. I didn't love it. Mostly, like, I didn't like going to school.
Okay.
Just like, having to sit there and like listen to somebody. And I was like, you don't really know what you're talking about. Why don't you shut up? That was mostly my attitude. I was like, I don't really like this. It's not for me. It's long, too. Every day I have to come here? No, thank you.
Maybe you were more Cyrus than Tony, I guess.
Cyrus? Like, fuck off, I'm Cyrus?
Yeah.
Yeah, or Ricky. I was more like a Ricky or Julian type, for sure, than anybody in that 13 Reasons Why. Yeah, man. It was like Friday every day,
I figured it was something like that for you.
Mm-hmm. It was all right.
What else you got there?
We have Guth Gons, who says, Season 1 was good, but Season 2 was garbage, and the Season 2 finale sucked.
Season 2 finale was very controversial. It left me very sick afterwards. I liked parts of it, and then, man, that scene near the end, oof. It was rough to watch. It was actually probably the hardest scene to watch.
Did you cry?
It's not.
Did you cry, Johnny?
It's not that kind of scene. It's more of like I want to throw up.
Yeah. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Sasha Lagarde says, left you wanting more.
Oh, of course. I can't wait for Season 3. I hope there's going to be Season 3.
There's going to be a Season 3, is there?
I don't think Hannah's going to be in Season 3. Because
she's been dead for 3 seasons. I mean, how could she be? Antoinette says it was a very graphic ending and she couldn't sleep for 2 days.
Yeah, I believe it.
Sounds terrible. I don't want to see that.
But you just fast forward through stuff you didn't want to see anyway.
Yeah, that's right. I fast forward through it. I don't want to see that gruesome stuff. Gross. No, thank you.
One day, Zev.
No.
Why not?
Definitely not. What are you talking about?
Good education for me.
No, it's terrible. It's a terrible show. People shouldn't watch it. That's my opinion on it. You should not watch it. It's a waste of time.
Instead, you like to watch Total Bellas.
Yeah, I love Total Bellas. I thought Total Bellas this week was... You want to talk about heart-wrenching. You want to talk about sad.
God.
How could you not feel for Nikki Bella? How dare you? I mean, what is wrong with you?
There was 1 minute in that whole 41-minute show that was good. That was when Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella were practicing for the Rumble.
Pretty cool, right?
But that was 1 minute of a 41-minute show.
No, I thought the whole show was good this week. I like Total Bellas.
Oh.
And I'm glad that you're finally on the train watching it. What a great show.
If you're not going to stay on the train of watching 13 Reasons Why, I don't think I have to watch all of Total Bellas then.
Yes, you do. That wasn't even the deal.
No, the deal was 50 Shades of Grey, but I compromised you and said you could just watch 13 Reasons Why. But you couldn't even finish that.
I watched a whole season. You didn't watch a whole season of Total Bellas. I've invested more time in 13 Reasons Why than you have in Total Bellas.
I will finish if you finish.
Why?
The season
2. I watched season 1. I don't have to watch season 2. That's not fair.
No, I think it's fair. Like
no, it's not.
Total Bellas is weekly.
No,
you can watch it all in one shot.
Yeah, but it's terrible. You know how much time I have to invest in that stupid show?
Take your time.
Do whatever you want. Don't watch Total Bellas. I don't care. I'm not watching that stupid show anymore. I'm done.
Either way, I don't know how you can be so happy to see Nikki Bella all the time. She just seems like not a nice person whatsoever.
How?
She just seems very selfish, self-centered.
How's that?
She only cares about how she looks, and like
she cares about how she looks. She doesn't only care about how she looks.
Ooh, I don't know about that. It's all about kids for her, and I understand that. That's fine. Okay, you want kids, but look, you're not gonna have it. That's a situation you put yourself in. Stop like tormenting yourself about this.
Well, I mean, she's in a difficult spot. She loves John Cena.
She put herself in that spot.
She loves John Cena. She loves the guy. She likes being with him. But they have an issue that they can't resolve between the two of them, and it may cause them to split fully.
She put herself in the situation. It's her own fault.
How about it's Cena's fault?
How is it really Cena's fault?
Why doesn't Cena just have a kid? What's the big deal?
Cena was straight up with her. Unlike her, who she was lying to. Like, she picked out, like, Cena's best man and, like, was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I can tell you this kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, she screwed up there, and she apologized for it. So?
Great person.
So she's a bad person because she made a mistake and then she owned up to it?
She didn't really want to own up to it. And she's like, oh, yeah, I actually realized this is really bad.
People are way too hard on Nikki Bella, and I don't understand why. I think they're jealous, and they resent her. We have guys on Twitter or on the YouTube here agreeing with you.
Oh, yeah?
Robert says, it's quite easy not to feel for Nikki Bella. You're right, Johnny. Sasha says, I can't look at Cena and believe him anymore. Robert says, wasn't the breakup a work?
I think it was probably for ratings, probably, yeah.
And Antoinette says, Nikki should move on. Cena is weird.
He is kind of like a robot. A bit.
Yeah. I don't know what it is she likes about him, other than the lifestyle that he affords her. He doesn't seem like a great guy. If you want to start picking on Cena, I would pick on Cena way more than Nikki. I don't think Nikki's a bad person at all. I think Cena is a little odd. And he's got some issues that he needs to work through.
But he was trying, though, at least. He kind of got rid of the rules. Remember, like, they couldn't even wear shoes. And then he's like, it's fine. Like, you don't have to have your shoes. Or you can wear your shoes.
Yeah, those are weird rules to have in the first place.
He had them. But he got rid of them, though, for her.
The best person in all of that show is Daniel Bryan. Because he's just there looking at everything going like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Yeah. For 1 minute, though, that's it.
You're defending Cena here. You're on Team Cena?
I don't think he's that bad of a guy.
Wow.
There isn't much to Cena, not much to like, but there's not much to hate either. He's just, really jacked, and he's in movies. I can understand why she's attracted to him. He's successful, and he has a good body. You're laughing. It's a lot of that's true, man.
Yeah. Antoinette says Nikki deserves better. Robert says agreed on Cena. He says he never said he dislikes Nikki, he just doesn't care. And she knew what she was getting into. Sasha says the sisters couldn't be more different. Always a bigger Brie fan. So we got some Brie mode fans in the house. I like Brie. I like Nikki. I don't like JJ.
Yeah, JJ, whatever.
I don't need to see JJ.
That was a weird conversation him and Cena had. It was very weird. Like, well, how much do you weigh? And like,
yeah, that was
like,
odd.
like,
Yeah, JJ's just weird. And I like that Johnny Ace married their mother.
Yeah, but he doesn't really... He's just there in the show. He doesn't really do much.
You see him from time to time. When he was first introduced, you saw him a lot more, but you weren't watching back then. So you don't know.
2 episodes have been hard so far.
No. JJ... Robert's asking, JJ? Is JJ Dillon? No, it's not JJ Dillon. It's JJ Bella, the Bella's brother, who's on the show.
JJ Dillon would be hilarious on the show.
Yeah, I don't know what he would be doing there.
There's definitely not enough wrestling personalities on the show. They definitely need more of that.
I think there's enough.
Well, they're supposed to go to Raw 25 next week, right?
Is that next week?
I think so.
That'll be fun.
So, I hope so. Ziggler or whatever. They'll show that again. The whole rift between Nikki, Ziggler, and Cena.
What are you talking about Ziggler for?
Well, wasn't there a situation where, like, he tried to get back with her and she was like, no?
This was, like, seasons ago on the show. What are you talking about?
It's not going to come up again?
Why would it come up again?
Why not?
It's not going to come up again.
But, like, they're broken up now, right, in the show? Or
Cena and Nikki?
Like, the way it ended, like, it seemed like they said they were broken up.
Yeah, that's what happened on the episode. Did you not watch the show?
I watched the show. Like, they ended it. They were in the room together. and it seemed like they just broke up.
Yeah.
So going into Raw 25, I imagine maybe a wrestler try to hit on her, because word will travel fast. No.
Did you not see the next week on?
No, I didn't see the next week on. No.
Well, they're pretending that they're still together in front of everybody.
Oh, okay. Nah. That's gonna last all the way to WrestleMania then. That sucks. Because that's when it was revealed after WrestleMania, right? So, to everybody, like.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of rough.
Cool,
but Antoinette's saying that she's hearing they're back together. I think that they will get back together because Cena was on TV saying he wants to get married to her, he wants to have kids with her, he wants to do everything she wants. The one thing that was missing was the kids, and if Cena is willing to do that, I could see them getting back together, and you know. So maybe it is a work. Like, I'm not saying that the breakup isn't a work. Maybe it is, but I'd be really surprised because Cena and Nikki aren't that good at acting. And if you saw the show, I mean, Nikki was crying and stuff. She seemed legitimately upset. I don't know if she could pull that off as a work.
That's a good point, but...
When's the last time you saw Nikki act that well?
You don't know how many takes they did, too.
Come on, man.
I'm just saying.
I don't care how many takes. Have you seen John Cena's movies?
Yeah, he has gotten better, though, like, in acting. It's not as bad as it used to be. Okay. And it's not hard to just be kind of a robot and say a word here or there. Yeah. Okay.
Antoinette says she predicted it's a work and they'll get married at SummerSlam. I don't think so.
It'd have to be the next season on Total Bellas.
I think they'd get married on Total Bellas or Total Divas. We've seen a lot of weddings on that show. Natty got married on the show. I think Rusev and Lana got married on the show. I think I missed... Oh, Brian and Brie also got married on the show.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, well, there you go, for sure. Like,
yeah, it would make sense for them to have another wedding on the show. Cena and Nikki, that's the biggest one of them all.
I could see it happen at a WWE event, but it'd have to coincide with, like, a Total Diva, Total Bellas show. Not like... It ends, no? At, like, SummerSlam? Total Bellas? That's probably around the season finale?
I don't know.
It's like 13 episodes, no? So long.
I don't know. I enjoy it every week. You don't like it.
If there's more Daniel Bryan,
I like Total Bellas. You like 13 Reasons Why. Fine.
I don't know how you can compare the two whatsoever. It's totally different.
Yeah, Total Bellas is actually good.
It's a totally different experience.
Yeah.
You're going through so many different issues on 13 Reasons Why. Total Bellas is just the Bellas. That's it. And it was mainly Nikki this week. It's not as compelling.
Well, I think you can relate to different things, different human experiences, and maybe more in the 13 Reasons Why rather than the Total Bellas.
Yeah, I suppose. I've never been in their situation, so I guess that's it. That's why it's hard to relate. And you've been in the situation, 13 Reasons Why, so yeah.
It's more relatable to you.
That's it.
I like to see Daniel Bryan and Brie with their little kid, little baby.
That's nice.
See Daniel Bryan doing dad things. I'm like, oh.
That was the first episode, though. It wasn't the second episode.
I see that. I've done that.
There was no birdie in the second episode.
I like seeing Bryan and his kid.
It's nice.
Yeah.
There's not enough The problem is the show is not Daniel Bryan. He's just kind of there in the background. Sometimes when Brie's around, yeah, you get to see more Daniel Bryan, but for the most part, it's not really about Daniel Bryan. He's just a tease that they'll hype at every commercial break. Daniel Bryan's coming, but it's halfway through the show and there's no Daniel Bryan yet. It's ridiculous.
Well, some episodes are centered around Nikki. Some episodes are centered more around Bryan. I'm sure when Bryan announces his comeback, that episode will be about him and it'll be very good. Like,
well, they've kind of
that'll be fun to watch.
They hinted it already.
Yeah, well, they're saying on Total Bellas, like, yeah, he's going to come back, but they haven't announced it on WWE TV in the show. So when he goes up and makes the announcement, all the backstage stuff leading into it, that'll be fun to watch.
It's just interesting that he was already training around the Rumble. Like, why couldn't they have cleared him for the Rumble?
Maybe because the plan wasn't to do anything in the Rumble. Because if Bryan's in the Rumble, people want him to win. And that wasn't the plan. The plan was for Nakamura.
Would that really have been the worst thing in the world? I don't know. I think that would have been the right move in a sense. AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan WrestleMania?
No, because you still don't know how Bryan is doing health-wise. He's checked out by the doctors after every match he has. He could have a rough Royal Rumble, come backstage after winning, and not be able to wrestle another match again. It's too risky. The right move was putting him in a tag team match for his first match at WrestleMania there with Shane. That was the right move.
And then put him in the Greatest Rumble, where he has to last the longest. And
well, he'd been tested by then.
He didn't win that one.
No. Who cares? The Greatest Rumble meant nothing.
And yet you beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, he got chopped a lot.
You did get chopped a lot.
So?
Questionable use of Daniel Bryan so far.
Yeah, for sure. Antoinette saying, how do I feel now it's back to Daniel and Cass?
Oh yeah, we're getting that match again for sure.
Yeah, of course. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Big Cass at all. I was excited to see Joe versus Bryan on SmackDown, and then Big Cass had to step in and get involved. Who wants to see that?
Sounds like you said big ass.
Big ass. Big Cass sucks.
He really dragged down that triple threat match a lot.
He drags down every segment he's in. He's terrible. He's worse than Enzo Amore's rapping.
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen it?
No.
It's terrible. Awful.
But,
sounds like a bad mystical.
Yeah, but the Macho Man stuff wasn't good either, but
no, it wasn't.
People love that.
People love to laugh at it.
Enzo could be like that too?
Well, that's not what he's aiming for. He's trying to be a rapper that's respected in rap music. He is not, and he will not be. Robert says Enzo is terrible, period. I don't know. He was a fun character in the Cruiserweight division. And Sasha says it's the best way to get Daniel Bryan injured, and it scares him. I agree. Scares me too. Seeing Daniel Bryan in there against Big Cass. I don't like Big Cass. I don't trust Big Cass with Daniel Bryan. And I don't care to see them wrestle ever again. I don't care to see Big Cass.
But it's also dangerous putting him in the Money in the Bank match as well. With all the dangerous stunts they do in that match.
Sure.
So it might be better, actually, Big Cass, one-on-one, simpler match. Bryan's pretty much in control of that whole match.
Yeah. So it might not be that dangerous, but it's not compelling.
It's going to be bad if he loses. Wow. I'm not going to want to hear that next week on Wrestling Uncensored.
Yeah, what if he loses, eh?
Oof.
Wow. He could lose.
It's going to be rough to handle.
And Antoinette says she doesn't know why Daniel had to lose to Joe. Why not Big Cass? I don't know why. Maybe because Big Cass is going to lose to Bryan at the pay-per-view again, and Cass has to go over sometime, right?
It also helps Joe because he hasn't really beaten anybody on SmackDown yet, so now he has that. He said a bunch of guys that he wanted to take down, and he said Daniel Bryan was one of them, so he did it. And it also saves the singles match when they eventually want to do that in the future.
That's true. There you go.
Well, they probably just were like, whatever, we have this, we're doing this, but there actually is some sense to it if someone thought of that.
Well, I think we're going to have to wait a little bit for our full take on the Daniel Bryan Big Cass issue, John, because this pre-show is running pretty long.
It is, but man, it's great. All the people responding, fantastic.
Yeah, it's been good, but it's like half an hour now. It's a pre-show. It's not a whole show. We can't go on forever.
So this is your warning to tell people, like, we're going to wrap it up. I'm not just going to shut you down, but I am going to shut you down soon. But
yeah, we're shutting it down soon, but we're wrapping up here. So if you've got any last questions, send them.
Yeah, they're sending them, it looks like.
Antoinette says she wants more.
Everyone wants more. Always more.
Well, we got to leave you wanting more, right?
There'll be more on Saturday.
More on Saturday, that's right. For Wrestling Uncensored, the full show, because we got pro wrestling to talk about, we got WWE to talk about. You didn't wrestle last weekend, right? You have no match to talk about?
Oh, I got a bunch of things to talk about, but we'll talk about, that'll be podcast only.
What do you mean you got a bunch of things to talk about?
Well, I remember I wrestled last Friday, when I left you last time.
Yeah.
I wrestled then I wrestled on the Sunday as well in a tag match.
Oh, man. Well, then get to that now. What are you doing?
Well, I just thought we'd have something for the podcast exclusive, but when I left you, I went to Pembroke to go wrestle, and I think I told you too beforehand my opponent wasn't going to be able to make it. So when I got there, I thought I wasn't going to have a match, but they ended up just taking some guy who probably wrestled about 8 matches and just like, okay, you guys have a match. You got 4 minutes, go out there. Pretty much it was like an enhancement match for me, but it was nice that they gave me that. I thought I wasn't going to have a match whatsoever, so.
And what kind of promotion was this in Pembroke?
This is G&W.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great North Wrestling.
It'll probably be on Hannibal TV in the future.
And how far away is Pembroke?
It's like 4 hours, maybe more.
Wow. So you drove a while to maybe not have a match.
Oh, we got there. The show was already started. Like, it was 8 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, how was the match?
I mean, it was very simple. I mean, just think of, like, you know, WWE Metal, Jacked, WWE Main Event against, like, an enhancement guy.
And you won.
Yeah, I went over, yeah. Well, it was
go.
pretty much just to showcase me, so it was nice.
Nice. And then you drove 4 hours back.
Yeah.
Who Jeremy wrestled?
Jeremy wrestled Ad Hutchinson. British guy. Very good, very good. It was the wrestling match of the show. Without question, yeah.
Cool. Robert asked, did we see Ricochet yesterday? I saw him do that flip thing.
I heard about it, I didn't see it.
You didn't see it? It was crazy. He like, what's his name? The Velveteen Dream's like, anything you could do, I could do better. And Ricochet's like in the ring, and Velveteen Dream is like on the stage, and he's like, oh yeah? And he runs, does a front flip, lands right on his feet, like right in front of Velveteen Dream, and Dream's like, oh my god, that was crazy. Oh, you should see it, John. It was really impressive.
I saw Rich Swann like tweeted about it, saying this is like the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, you got to see this. See the flip.
I feel like I've seen Ricochet do that before.
It's pretty impressive, though.
Oh, it's very impressive.
Ricochet's a real special talent. He's a reason to watch NXT. That's for sure. So what about your other match?
Well, then I came back. We did a tag match. I wrestled the guy I was supposed to wrestle, Ray Steele, and Wes Dawson, who had just come back from an injury when I injured him in our match. So
did you actually?
Yeah, on a suplex. Just the way he landed was awkward. So, I mean, that happens. I didn't plan him wrong or anything. He landed his leg wrong. So he ended up like tearing his quad.
Wow.
Yeah. Slightly though. So I mean, he just maybe 2-3 months.
Okay.
But now he's back. It was his first match back, or second match back.
Against you?
The tag match.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Who's your tag partner?
With Paulson, Savage Paulson. You saw him, I think.
Sounds familiar.
And it was a nice back and forth match. We did a bunch of tag moves to start off, and then they kind of cheated a bit. Then I made the comeback. House of Fire, Powerhouse.
House of Fire.
Yeah. But then their valet cheated. I got a low blow, and we lost. So that was unfortunate.
Good match?
I enjoyed myself.
Where was this?
This was at Drew Onyx's Torture Chamber School.
Okay. Cool.
So a very eventful weekend for me.
Yeah, right?
No question, yeah.
Real busy. And you turned out all right? No bumps and bruises? Everything seems fine.
Bit of a... All right, wrap it up.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you all later.